Every year, usually during our graduation ceremonies, UBC has the honor of bestowing honorary degrees upon individuals who, in the opinion of the university community, have fit the criteria of excellence and eminence in their chosen field. Erwin Cutler exemplifies these characteristics, and it is our pleasure to grant him an honorary degree. Erwin Cotler is one of Canada's foremost scholars and practitioners of constitutional and comparative law, and he has written upon and intervened in landmark Charter of Rights cases in the areas of free speech, freedom of religion, minority rights, peace law, and war crimes justice. A former Member of Parliament and Minister of Justice and Attorney General of Canada, he is the chair of the Raoul Wallenberg Centre for Human Rights and an emeritus professor of law at McGill University. As Minister of Justice and Attorney General, he initiated the first ever comprehensive reform of the Supreme Court appointment process, appointed the first ever Indigenous and visible minority justices to the Ontario Court of Appeal, initiated the first ever law on human trafficking, and crafted the Civil Marriage Act, the first ever legislation to grant marriage equality to gays and lesbians. He also issued Canada's first National Justice Initiative against racism and hate, and made the pursuit of international justice a government priority. As an international human rights lawyer, Professor Cotler has been referred to as Counsel for the Oppressed and Freedom's Counsel. Indeed, he has served as counsel to prisoners of conscience including Andrei Sakharov, Nathan Sharansky, and Nelson Mandela. He has also served on the international legal teams of many dissidents and political prisoners, including Nobel Peace Prize laureate Liu Xiaobo. His awards and distinctions, too numerous to mention, include his membership as an officer of the Order of Canada, an officer of the National Order of Quebec, a member of the Privy Council, an avocat emeritus of the Quebec Bar. In recognition of a lifetime of achievement as a scholar and protector of freedom and human rights, we are pleased to confer the degree Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, upon Erwin Cutler. It now gives me great pleasure to ask Dr. Cutler to say a few words.
Mr. Chancellor, Mr. President, members of the UBC community, in particular, the graduating class of 2021, with whom it's a special pleasure for me to be amongst you. I want to thank President Ono for his kind introduction. It is particularly appreciated coming from an exemplary university leader who has been a role model for what inspirational leadership is all about. I'm deeply moved and humbled by this honorary degree, which I take to be in recognition of the cases and causes with which I've had the privilege to be associated with over the years, in recognition of the political prisoners that I've had the honor to represent and who've inspired us all, in recognition of my colleagues in academia, bench and bar, parliament and government, with whom I worked together in common cause, some of whom, in fact, are graduates of the University of British Columbia, in recognition of my teachers over the years and my students who became my teachers, one of whom, Professor Stephen Tuke, became the president of the University of British Columbia. And in particular, at this moment of remembrance and reminder, I recall my parents of blessed memory, my first teachers who provided me with my abiding moral compass. It was my father who taught me at a young age, before I could appreciate the profundity of his words, when he spoke of me that the commandment of pursuing justice, as he put it, is equal to all the other commandments combined. This, as he put it, is that which you must teach unto your children. This must be your abiding moral compass. But it was my mother who, when she would hear my father say these things, would say to me that if you want to pursue justice, you have to understand, you have to feel the injustice about you. You have to go in and about your community and beyond and feel the injustice and combat the injustice. Otherwise, the pursuit of justice, as she put it, will end up being a theoretical abstraction. I suspect that it was because of these teachings of my parents and that of my mentor and colleague for over 50 years, Nobel Peace Laureate and Holocaust survivor, Professor Elie Wiesel, that led to my involvement in the two great human rights struggles of the second half of the 20th century, the struggle against apartheid and the struggle for human rights in the former Soviet Union. And with my involvement in the two political prisoners who became the voice, the identity, the vision of those two struggles. Anatoly Sharansky, as he then was in the former Soviet Union, and Nelson Mandela in South Africa, who were involved and who aspired to the same things, the struggles for freedom, for democracy, for equality, for peace, which underpinned the struggles of the second half of the 20th century and inspire our struggles today. And may I close with a teaching from the sage Maimonides, who said that we should each look at the world as being divided into half evil and half good. Therefore, one good deed by any one of us transforms the ledger from evil to good. And so each one of us, in every day of our lives, has an opportunity, a privilege to transform the universe, to better the human condition, and to underpin and advance those struggles for equality, for peace, for democracy, for human rights. Thank you. To the class of 2021, for me, this will be an enduring memory of having had the privilege to graduate together with you. And I look forward to watching this class of 2021 making an impact, not only in British Columbia, not only in Canada, but through your individual and collective engagement, making an impact on the world.